So I'm just recording the screen now, guys.
Okay, perfect. Cool. What should we talk about? Any suggestions? Tom, you want to showcase the additions to the multisig?
Yeah, I think Santiago jumped straight into sharing his screen and showing us. That's what I was
Awesome.
like. You got to show people this. So.
Okay.
All right. Let me share this screen. All right. So this is like the linking and the multisig structure I'm working with. So there is a multisig who is linked with the anchor, and this multisig that has members and number of required signatures links to a set of transactions and links to a set of members, which each member has its own transactions, right? So what can we see here is that when we start the application, I have a hard-coded members that will be part of the multisig once the multisig has started. So at this moment we have two members, Charlie and Alice. So when the multisig starts, so if you come here and just fetch the hard-coded members, you can see these both hard-coded members, and when the multisig, we call the multisig to start, we will get now the links that are linked to the multisig, so which the members are linked.
So that basically you have a multi-sig right now, hard-coded, when you start the application with Charlie and Alice involved in a vector.
Yeah, we have two members, two hard-coded members. So when the multisig starts, it just goes straight to the hard-coded members and create a link for each member from the multisig. Right? So what we wanna, so I just have two functions at the moment, which are add a new member and change the number of required signatures. So
Santiago, can you make your screen a bit bigger? I'm having trouble like the font size. I'm on a little rubbish laptop.
Yeah, me too. It's kind of small. I wonder if you could spend just like a minute and explain what you're trying to do, because I'm not familiar with the wallet, the multi-sig or multi-sig. What are you saying?
Multi-signature. It just like for a multi-signature, it just if you wanna, for example, add a new member to a company or sign or deploy a function. So you need more than just you to execute that function. For example, if you want to add a new member, so I'm going to add Tom as a new member of my company. So people from my company has to sign that Tom is going to be a new member. So we say we need 3 signatures to allow Tom to be part of the company. All right.
So the context might be like, say for instance, I mean, just a historical context in multi-signatures is, you know, like maybe you start a bank account with somebody in your company, and you know the bank account might need 2 people to sign in order for the money to transact from that company to another company. So that's like one context, and we've been applying it to, you know, supply chain transactions from company to company as well. That, you know, the company might have 10 members in the company or 10 employees. But we might specify, or maybe there's 100 employees in the company, but 10 people have signing rights. But then when you're signing off a transaction, that in that 10 people, that array of 10 people or vector of 10 people, it might need to have a 4 of 10. So 4 people need to sign of that 10 group of 10 people in order for a transaction to be then entered into a database or for something to be valid, basically. or for money to be transferred, like, you know, what Westpac Bank would do, or Commonwealth Bank, that they might need a 2 of 3. You know, there might be 3 accountants. The accountants use it all the time, but 2 of the 3 have to sign in order for that money to move to the other person's bank account. So this is basically the underlying infrastructure that makes that possible.
Can you see here better?
So maybe even just show them the schema as well first.
The schema, yeah. So yeah, so what we see here is just when I start the multisig, I create the anchor link pointing to this entry, which is the multisig wallet. So if I want to, so this is Alice and this is Charlie from the members. So you see here Alice and Charlie. So we have Alice here. Alice has started the multi-signature wallet. So the multi-signature wallet, when it starts, it just links the hard-coded members to the member links.
So there's 2 instances of Hot2 agents going right now from 2 different tabs in the browser. I think it'd be worth bringing up the doc site on the left-hand side as well, Santiago, and showing them just how what is this data, the schema, or not that one, maybe the schema, yeah.
Yeah, schema.
Yeah, perfect.
So we have let me check the multi-sig here. Multi-sig. This is just a simple schema, just need a required number of signatures for a transaction. And what it does is it links to a set of members. This is a member, name and address. And so if we come here and we fetch the members, we get the name and address of the schema defined, right? So what I will do now is I'm gonna try to add a Bob as a new member. So this is Charlie. Charlie is going to launch this. And if we get that transaction entry, so if we go back to the schema and we check the mutation, add member here. So we can see that a member needs a name, needs a description, and needs an address, which is here, name Bob, add Bob as a member, and this is his address. And I get this entry, which if I come and fetch that transaction, what we see here, so we go back to the schema, and we get the transaction, which is this, the title, add member, description, add Bob as a member, number of required signatures is 2. Who has signed this entry? Charlie, which is the person who launched, who called the add member function, and who created this transaction is already executed, is not executed yet. Entry data, this is the add member entry. So this is this is how we see it from the Holochain site. How is an app entry. Entry action is a commit or is an update. At this point is a commit. I will show you an update later. Number of entry links, which how it should be linked when it's signed. So it's gonna link from this base address. It's gonna link to multisig, from the multisig to the members, and the response when the function when it reaches the number of required signatures, what is the response address that is going to throw. So if we
Can you also just show them on the Holochain? Sorry, Santiago, but could you also show them on the Holochain code the list of members? just what that looks like what the schema of a multi-sig wallet?
This is the multi-sig. It's pretty simple. This is just a required function, just a required variable. And this is a transaction, which is this one.
Can you also explain the architecture a bit, like how you've broken up, how you've created the zones, like how you've segregated things?
Yeah, from the multi-sig side, I just create an anchor entry definition, which if we see here, just this anchor point a multi-sig, just an anchor entry.
One size bigger, kindly. Can you still make it one size bigger, kindly?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know how to do this part. Not sure how to.
It's the same as in the browser. It's just the command or control plus.
No, it's not working.
Oh, bugger.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we have just close this anchor entry definition, which doesn't have links. It just some validation. If it checks if the multi-sig is already created, so if it is already created, just throw back an error. If it's not created, returns okay. The entry definition of the multi-sig has two links, from the multi-sig to transactions and from the multi-sig to members. Pretty simple. Some validation is just checking if the user who is creating the multi-sig is a member is part of the hard-coded members. So if we go to health first, it checks his members, it just goes to the property of valid members, which is in the app.json file, the hard-coded members. Just checks.
So does this instance of the app can only create one multi-sig, or it can create multiple multi-sigs? Do you want to just show that? Just one.
Just one.
Okay. So that's what's different about this one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How come you made that change? Because before you created an app that you could create multiple multi-sigs in the same app.
Yeah, you can do it actually, but because of the anchor, you can create multiple multi-sigs, right? And it can be done, but yeah, I just wanted to do it this way, just for one specific case, but you can create multiple. Yeah.
So you could have multiple multi-sigs with different hashes that link to that anchor link, and then you just go through and find the one that you want. So, and then can you show us the place where it saves the members in a multi-sig?
Members. So this is the member, just a name and address. And
where are those members saved?
I think he's just got an app.json.
App.json. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've just hard-coded
it comes from here. But when the multisig starts, so if we come to start multisig, what it does is just get the hard-coded members and link each member to the multisig, right? So we just linking each member to the multisig. So at this point, if we come to the playground and we get the members, we just have two members at this point.
So it's just doing a searching of the links.
Yeah.
A link query. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make
sense? Are there plans to modularize the member edition? Like you just...
We can extend it. Yeah. Yeah, but I just wanted to write a simple MVP to see how it can work and see if I can. All right. So at this point, we just created a new transaction, which is add a member. And this is the transaction if you get the transaction list from the multisig. So we getting the transaction list from the anchor we get a transaction list, and if we get the transaction from the member.
So there's two. Is there two anchors? That one for an anchor for transactions and one for multi-sig members.
One there is a link from the multi-sig to transactions, which is this transaction list.
Yep.
And there is a link from the member to transactions, which is.
So there's a reverse link as well. Yeah.
Right. So if we're trying to fetch that transaction, we can see that just Charlie has signed this transaction. Who created it? It's Charlie who has created the app entry. Yeah, everything that I showed you before. And we're going to check from the Alice side that we're going to sign that transaction. So what is the signing transaction function does? Transaction sign entry. It just takes the transaction, takes the data from the transaction, convert some data from the transaction to string, and sign that string. So it just signing the entry data and the links that is being added to the transaction. So we get the signature of the data of that string and push it to the transaction. So let me just sign this transaction, and if we come back.
So you're signing it from agent one in one tab there.
Yeah.
So if we get the transaction again, you can see now that Charlie and Alice has signed the transaction from both sides. Charlie and Alice has signed the transaction. Now,
go ahead.
Now it has reached the number of required signatures, so the transaction can be executed. So if we come and execute that transaction, the transaction has already been executed, and we get the transaction again. We can see that the transaction has been executed, and there is a response address right now of this data that is being committed. Right. So if we come back and we were adding Bob as a new member, and if we go back, we can see that Bob has been added as a new member after the two signatures. So yeah, that's pretty much.
And anyone so it's one. Any one of these members will be able to see the history of signatures as well, right?
Yeah, if you get to the transaction, you can see that the signatures are already there. All the signatures from right there, and it can be verified. Yeah, and
pretty cool. So the only other thing you'd probably do on this is automate the execution function to execute automatically.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah. I didn't want to do it that way because I encountered some issues, but yeah, that's the idea. After it reaches the number of required signatures, just execute the transaction straight away.
What's coming next? What do you want to bring this up to?
Tom, you want to answer that one?
All right. So we've got a history in Ethereum multi-signatures. In fact, I'm just reviewing a paper on multi-signatures for QUT. And using this, as a security layer for the management of food, moving food around, so that you have multiple employees signing data and not just one. So it sort of distributes the trust amongst the company. But then another company who's dealing with, like, say, for instance, an example is, we want to upload some temperature data that proves that the food is below 18 degrees or something like that. So basically agents inside a company are putting their reputation on the line to say, yes, it's 18 degrees at this time. And doing that together with 2 employees or 3, it's harder to. I mean, sure, you can collude, but there's also there's less there's less hacking risks. There's a lot of different reasons. I guess the main thing is showing that there was two people present and they're putting their reputation on the line. So this is where it could get into the reputation vault side of things as well. Because then later on, if these people are found out that they're colluding, or you could have signatures across, two companies. So then we can go back and look at who colluded around there if they find out there's a problem with the food later on, and this is the entries that they entered at the time. It's just a giant experiment at the same time, really. So that we're doing it, like we're actively doing it with farms and stuff now to find out what to do next. Really, like we're in a trial mode at the moment with it using it with Ethereum, but obviously we've got a lot of limitations, so we want to move it over to Holochain at some point. And there's a lot of other benefits to using Holochain. But
can you specifically articulate like what benefits you saw over Ethereum?
Maybe Santiago, do you want to do that? I tried to answer that in the last call.
Yeah, Ethereum sometimes you have to always sign transactions from MetaMask and wait 15 seconds for each transaction. So, for example, when moving batches of products, and each product needs to have a signature, so you will have to go to Ethereum and sign each. So if you have 100 products, you have to sign each. So it's gonna take 15 seconds for the signature. So it takes a lot of time, and
now I was just playing devil's advocate. Like I feel like wouldn't Sybil attacks expose this a little bit? Like if I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about. Like, is an Ethereum signature more secure in a case like this than a Holochain signature?
Not sure about that. Should be actually, if we are working with Holochain, we all believe that is secure at the point of agent. So I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm just gonna get the argument stronger. That's what I'm asking.
I think we've got to put more personal details around each agent's public key to stop things like that. That's the first step that comes to my head.
So the signature is actually signed with the private key that the conductor has that never leaves the device. That's the key that signs the signature.
Yeah. So if you try to verify that signature from that data, you will see that it will be the same address of the agent when you verify that signature. That's the verification process is verify signature. You just get the data you want to verify and create a provenance from the member address, which is the agent, and the signature from the signature from the transaction. It just goes in HDK verify signature, and what it does, it just takes HD. If we go to, let me just see if I can open this. Let me go to the verify signature. What it does. Holo. Verify signature. And verifies a provenance, public key, and signature against a payload. That's pretty much. So
do anyone here? Go ahead. I was about to ask a question, but you again. Or maybe, do you want to finish that thought? I'll jump in after.
Yep, that's pretty much. So That's the verify signature function. Let me just.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you consider, because I didn't really look into that part, but is the group agent or the triangularization
Triangulation.
okay
Triangulation.
triangulation, these two aspects couldn't be they used or be useful for doing this kind of work.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So maybe Santiago doesn't know. So Santiago, there's a pattern called group agent that a few people have been working on. I think it could be really useful here because what it lets you do is define which agents within a group have access to which membranes. And so if the multisig is basically lodged within a membrane, only the people who are allowed within the membrane will have access to signs. So that might ease up your work quite a bit. It might be nice to plug into the group agent conversations.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah, I think that, and because then that'll just allow you to integrate with the rest of the app. Like agents can just be given permissions, and based on the permission level, they can enter or sign or whatever.
Maybe that would also deal with the civil attack problems, though, because
that's what I've been chatting with. Like, how at the group agent level, there's like layers of reputation which will then help prevent civil attacks in the long run. Since you've got your conductor running, like, do you want to plug it into the playground? Like, I don't know. Maybe if the others also want to see it, like, it'd be cool to watch the signatures getting passed as entries visually.
Yep. What I'm working right now is just some UI stuff, so to make it look.
Yeah, no. Have you tried the Holochain playground?
No, still not. I saw it, but I don't know how to use it actually. So,
if you want to do that now,
yes, that'd be great.
Like, it'll be really cool.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, see what's going on.
It would be awesome.
Yeah, so Santiago, if you just click that link.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Sam, we can.
Oh, yeah, okay, thanks. So, just a quick question. If I was going to use the multi-sig in another app, would that be done via bridging?
That's the idea, but not sure actually, because that's the next part. So actually the next part is just working with zones, with different zones, and after that we'll try the bridging with other DNAs, but not sure actually.
And last question, I thought what you were viewing the code in with the schema, I thought that was the playground. Is that not? What was that application for?
That's GraphQL playground. I have a GraphQL server running behind it.
Oh, okay. Right. Let me find that. Thanks.
That's from Apollo GraphQL.
So
that's got nothing to do with something different.
Yeah, no, the playground I was speaking about was the one Guillaume's design.
Yeah,
that's the link I just shared. So Santiago, if you click connect to nodes, you can add in. Do you have the URL? Yeah, so you can put the conductor URL in there, and then it shows you the nodes.
Which is
so connect. Yep. So one of the conductors, like maybe Alice or Bob or whoever. That's one. If you want to add one more, you can add the other conductor as well. Maybe, yeah.
Just check where are they running. Server. All right, should be connected now. Yeah.
It's, no, it's no, I don't think that's the port. Maybe it's another.
No, it should be.
But why is it saying?
It runs
Is that a WebSocket connection? Is that what it is?
8. Let me just try and check. Yeah, 8.
Is it running under WS or is it HTTP?
HTTP actually, yeah, it should be WS. This is the connection from the Apollo server. It's not connected. Let me just disconnect the Apollo. Try again. Hello? Is it connected? No.
No. But then you see the nodes right there.
Maybe check the console logs if there's an error.
I'll change the board in the app.
No. They both running, but it's not taking.
Maybe just switch to technical mode, see if that changes anything. Just maybe. No.
No.
Is this running or has it shut itself down?
Sorry. That way, you can show it with any app because.
I've got another one running in my end. Let me share. Like this is what it looks like. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yep. So this is the simple note-taking app, and these are the. This is, I mean, it's just one agent, and these are the anchors running. And so if I, let's say, create a note.
So there's 3 anchors in this one, is there? Or is it
Yep.
2 entries off 1 anchor? Is that what's going on? There is 3 anchors. And then you've created it.
Yeah.
There's 3 anchors.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the node I've just created. So if you look at the entry, so it's its node. But yeah, that's the connected node that I've got running.
Do you want to show us your conductor file settings?
It's just the scaffolded app that I've run.
Yeah.
see where. Let me just try and pull up the code. Has anyone played with the Notes app before?
No, not me.
No.
There you go. That's
What Notes app?
That's the basic, the first scaffolding app that they released. Here you go. So that's my port. 3,000. Maybe Santiago, you just need to get your port number right. I don't know. That's probably the stuff. But yeah, anyway, this is, I think it's a good, you can just keep adding apps. New notes, sorry. And keep watching how things get logged.
So it's only adding the notes to one of the anchors. There's nothing you can add to the other two
Yes.
anchors.
Yeah, it's, in that sense, it's really a very simplistic app.
Yeah. So there's no reason for anchor 1 and 2. It was just to show.
I'm not sure what they're there for. I think it's basically, I could get in the code and I don't know. Maybe there's a system for tags and that's another anchor. I don't know, have a look at the documentation.
Let's go and have a look at the code. Let's go and look at the 3 anchors that they got in the definition. Code. And then src, note. Oh, I go to lib actually. And so they'll have just a bit further down. No, where is it? They've just got.
What am I looking at?
Well, it says anchor definition, Holochain anchors and definition, but there's only one there. So I just don't know why it shows 2 more. Maybe there's something in, I don't know, I don't understand. Go back up there.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
He'll tell us there, will it? Yeah, okay. But just go back to that code again. What else is there?
There are zones.
There's only one zone, isn't there?
Yeah.
Then there's handlers. Validation of the entries. So it's probably just creating 2 other instances of that same anchor for some reason, maybe.
That seems silly though.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah.
My sense is it might be like giving people the option to create tags, and then the tags serve as anchors other than authors.
All right, okay.
Something along those lines. So you can also search. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be doesn't seem to be code for it.
We're gonna hook this up to the multi-sig and look at it. We're gonna make
that's what we wanted to do, but we can't seem to figure out what port number to add in. So maybe another time. Maybe
I think I'm connected now.
Okay. Oh yeah. There you go. What was the port? What was the port number?
The same port, but I just restarted the instances and worked. But what should I do here?
Try and pass an entry, like maybe do a signature. For the agent that you've got connected.
Yeah, it should be this one. Let me just try with this one. I think it's being blocked. Yeah.
Maybe they're using the same port.
That might be, yeah. So GraphQL and the Playground are using the same port or something, and they're conflicting with each other. Maybe that's why it wasn't connecting before, because GraphQL was going.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We just create. Yeah, there's some kind of something that is blocking it. Yeah. Maybe it's from here. I'll just run this again. Because I'm using a conductor file. Maybe that's the issue. It's connected there. Well, I cannot get to commit from here. So if I run the server, but there is nothing showing that. Yeah, I think this doesn't work for conductor files, because what you can see here is that I cannot create when connected to real conductors. So that can be the issue. Should connect it to a.
Maybe ask Guillaume about this, but it would be cool to see the entries get passed.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Coming up on an hour. Anything else, guys?
I'm happy. I'm satisfied. I think it's just good that we got to have that conversation.
Yeah, thanks. I'm checking.
Yeah, it was good to go through some code. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Is this open, Santiago? The code?
Still not. I will create an open GitHub for this one because I have some UI that shouldn't be there. So when I change the UI, I will put it as open core.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be cool to see.
Yep.
All right, I think that's it. I'll get this video recording up in Loaded as well, so people can go through that.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.